Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Don't you wanna talk about it?
Well, hello and happy Friday. I am Mrs. JSpired of the JSpirations Live Show, and I am so excited that you all are joining us tonight. If you are catching the replay, I want to say welcome, 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 and make sure that even if you are catching the replay, that you comment. We try our very best to go back, read the comments to ensure that we are responding and that we are conversing with our followers. So again, I'm Mrs. J Spire of DJ Inspirations Live Show, and tonight this is Feel Up Friday Live. It's a time where we come together to have real talk with real people. And we talk about the things that we have gone through throughout the week, if we have filled up, what we filled up on, and we come together to inspire each other and to be inspired. If this is your first time watching, then welcome. Please take the opportunity to jump in the comments. Let us know you're watching. Let us know where you're watching from. And again, let us know if it's your first time. We do want to take the time to shout you out. What's up, Barbara Sandage? Thank you for joining us tonight. How you doing, cousin? I'm excited that you are here. Listen, you all, we have a lot to talk about tonight. We have a lot to unfold. It's been a busy week, but it has been a great week. I have filled up. I love you too. I have filled up so much this week. Again, just taking the time to reflect, to kind of figure out where I am in space, to be grateful, to be thankful, and to make sure that I was ready to come on tonight so that if you are not full, if you have been running on empty this week, then we hope that Fill Up Friday Lives and the Fill Up Friday Faithfuls that we are able to pour into you tonight, to sow into your life. So I hope you guys have been following the post throughout the week. God has really just been pouring into me, again, helping me to reflect, kind of figure out where I am, what I'm doing, and to most of all, just be grateful for all the things that are taking place in my life. Even some of the things that I'm not happy about, but I know that it's working for my good. And we say those things and it sounds like a cliche, but it really is working for our good, because sometimes we have to we have to be in things to be able to go through things so that we can remember and remind ourselves that God is faithful. He has been faithful to us over and over and over again. And if we're not in it and we've gone through it, then we know that He is keeping His promises, and it helps us to continue to build our relationship with Him. So what did you guys fill up on this week? Drop that in the comments. And if you didn't fill up at all and you felt kind of empty or kind of running on half full, drop that in the comments as well, because we are going to talk about it. Some of the things that we posted this week, it's all going to come together. It's all going to help us to, again, reflect this week and just think about who we are and to really think about where we are going. So I'm going to go ahead and really get started. We started off posting on Monday, and I'm thankful for what God put in me to share with you all. Actually, we started on Sunday. So let's start with Sunday. So Sunday we posted the darts that folks are throwing. Let's start over. See the darts that folks are throwing as celebratory fireworks and sparkles. It's a sign that you are going in the right direction and the party has already started. Success loading. And then on Monday, we posted Meant It for Your Good Monday. We often think that our trials will take us out. They will if that's what you believe. Think about how far you have come and how much you have grown from every trial that you have faced, how much your faith has grown, and how your relationship with God has matured. Baby, it was for your good. Then also we had a Monday music, right? And what we played on Monday was CC Winans. We played Goodness of God. If you have not heard that song, you have not seen that video, please go back and take a listen to that. On Tuesday, we posted Use Your Time Wisely. That's it. That's the post. On Wednesday, we posted, see what we posted on Wednesday. Wednesday, we had Wisdom Wednesday, confidence over competition. And that's where we are going to focus on tonight as well. And then on Thursday, we posted, regardless of what I, you, or we are going through, another day on this side is a gift, a blessing, and an opportunity. Be grateful, be thankful, productive, and purposeful. So, Mrs. JSpired, what does all these things have to do with each other? Well, I am so glad that you asked. All week, I'm thinking, God, I'm posting, you're giving me things, and what do all these things have to do with each other? So where I really want to focus on tonight is our Wisdom Wednesday. That's going to bring everything together. Confidence over competition. You've heard people say something like, if God brings you to it, he'll bring you through it, right? We say those things all the time because, it's the faith that we have in him that he is going to bring us through things, right? He's going to take us through things because he has, he does, and he will. But some of the things that we go through or some of the things that we come through or come to, it's not something that he brought us to. It's decisions that we have made, and we have brought ourselves to these situations a lot of times. And sometimes we bring ourselves to the situations because we don't have confidence. Right? We don't have the faith in God. We're working on building that. We don't have the confidence in ourselves. We don't have the confidence in the gifts and the wisdom and the purpose that he has given us, right? And we are looking at other people. We're watching other people. We're worried about what they're doing. We're worried about what they have, right? We're worried about how they got it, why they got it, why don't I have it? And so the Lord just spoke with me this week, and he said, confidence over competition. And why did he say that to me? Because there was a time this week where I was second guessing myself, regardless of how often I come on here and I appear confident and, I'm ready to go. And maybe I'm saying all the right things and it's blessing you. And you probably think, she has it all together. But sometimes I am second guessing myself. And sometimes I'm asking God, like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Right? I'm looking and I'm thinking sometimes it's not going the way that I want it to go. Maybe it's not going as fast as I want it to go. It doesn't look like somebody else's. And God, he strongly told me. And then he took me to one of my old shows from 2021 where we were talking about who are we in competition with. And we use words like haters, right? We have our haters and things like that. And do we really have that? Right? Or are we making those conversations up in our own head? Right? Are we having those conversations with ourselves? So who are we in competition with? And so he says confidence over competition. We don't have to be in competition with anyone. We merely have to have the faith in God, knowing that what he has put in us, it belongs to us, right? Knowing that we're being confident not only in ourselves, but we're being confident in God, in the God who has made us, right? And Pastor said this morning on the morning word, which you guys can listen to every Friday, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7:00 a.m. with the Way VA. He said, what we have inside of us, like it's already ours, right? It belongs to us. We just have to put, and I'm paraphrasing, we have to put in that work, right? I'll go back and I'll share that link to the morning word. But earlier this week, he had said confidence over competition, right? We have to be confident in what God has put in us, and we don't have to be in competition with anyone. Right? The only person that we have to be in competition with is ourselves, with the ability to continue to work hard and pour into what God has already given us and water it, right? Just the way that we take care of our grass. We of those of us who have homes, right? The way that we take care of our cars, right? We're wiping it down, we're cleaning, we're shining the wheels, we're taking care of all those material things, and we're not confident in ourselves. We want people to see us, we want to look a certain way. Right. But God is saying it's not about competition. We don't have to be in competition with anybody. Right. We just have to walk in who and what God has called us to be, right? And when we do that, that confidence is going to pop out. We talked about it a few weeks ago where we said that next level is next level. What he's already given us, it has to come to pass, right? So don't worry about what anybody else is doing. I know you've heard this 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. But tonight, I want you to purpose that in your heart. I want you to purpose confidence over competition. There is no one that can compete with you when God has given you what he has given you. So you don't have to spend the time worrying about what other people are doing. Have you ever heard, like, athletes, of course, when they're playing sports, they want to win, right? But their goal is to get better. They're always trying to beat their time, right? If you see people running track, they want to beat their time because they know that the faster they get beating their time, then they're going to get faster and they're going to be able to beat someone else's. But what they're focusing on is getting better for themselves, getting better to beat their time. The vision, the long-term goal may be to, beat someone else's, but they are running against themselves. They want to get better. And God has given us the opportunity every day to get better, to be confident in who he says that we are, to build our faith and our relationship with him, and not to be in competition with anyone. He didn't make us for that, right? We're already winners. Does that sound cliches? Absolutely. Those things that we tell other people, you're already a winner, but we are winners. And every day that we wake up, it's a new opportunity to do something different. It's a new opportunity to be a better person. It's a new opportunity to do a better thing, to do a different thing. So tonight, I implore you to not be in competition with anybody or with anything. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about what they have. Don't worry about how fast their businesses are growing. Listen, growing up, we've always heard that is that slow and steady. It's who wins the race, right? And we're talking longevity. We don't want something to be fly by night. We don't want something to be here today and gone tomorrow. We're looking at legacy, right? Not just for our families, but legacy for ourselves. When we leave this earth, what will men say about us, right? We don't want them to say that they did a million things. We want them to say that what Joshalon did, what Paula did, what Ruth did, what Yolanda did, what Lucy did, what Deborah did, that we did it and we did it well. Right, because we are confident in the gifts that God has given us. Right. If you have been following me for a while, you know that doing something like this has always been something I wanted to do, even when I was a child, right? And I didn't start really doing these things until I became an adult because God called me in another direction in my career. But the skills that he had given me, they are here and they are in me. And I've always been confident about it. Sometimes it may go up and down because like I said, there's been times where I'm like, I see this person, and when is it going to happen for me? It's going to happen in God's timing, right? And it's going to happen without he's preparing me for the next. Next level is next level. You're going to hear me saying that a lot. Why? Because it's in my spirit and it's in my heart. And I know that next level is next level. I know that I'm going all the way up, right? I know that God has a plan for my life, right? You have to know that God has a plan for your life and you have to be confident in it. So even when you're walking through life and there's bumps and there's bruises, sometimes we fall down in the hole, gotta pull ourselves up. Sometimes we bump into the wall. You gotta say, you know what? That was just a small brick. Things were meant to be knocked down, right? You knock it down and you keep on going. And you have to be confident in who God says that you are. Deborah says it's always a winning season. Just wait and see what he has for you. Absolutely. And I know that she's saying that to me, but I'm speaking that back into your lives, right? Just wait and see what God has for you. And if you have real relationship with him, right? Not just religion, but real relationship with him, he's going to show you. He's going to give you a vision. And then he's going to give you all the tools, all the resources that you need to walk it out. Today I was talking to one of my friends, and we were talking about how I'm not that techie, right? And how I had a situation where I was asking someone about something, and I think they thought they were getting over on me a little bit because they didn't expect for me to ask the questions, right? Because they too know that I'm not techie. And what she told me is, they don't know how techie you are now. You have a whole podcast, right? And that's the truth. I had to walk in the confidence that everything that I have, everything that I'm able to do, God has been showing me and he's able to teach you. He's not going to give you that purpose and give you those skills and not give you the ability to walk it out. Right. There is a ministry that I follow called Walk It Out Ministry. Right. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, walk it out, because that's what he wants us to do. And you guys can follow on social media, follow on Facebook. It's Walk It Out Ministries. They're out of Lynchburg, Virginia. They're on, I think, sabbatical right now, but they'll be back sometime the end of the summer. And it's Walk It Out Ministries. Right. So walk it out. Walk out what God has given you. Let me see. Deborah says, say so, keep doing your work. Next level is what those that know me say. You tell me all the time to shift. That's right. And things are going to shift. Things are not going to always look pretty. We always talk about the process, but be confident in that process. You have to be confident in the process. Why? Because we talk about it as well. A butterfly is always a butterfly, even when we see it as a caterpillar. The goal is to be a butterfly. So that caterpillar is moving about like it's a butterfly. It's moving about with confidence. Even though it's on the ground and it's crawling about and people can step on it and, it's always in harm's way, but its goal is it's a butterfly, right? And it knows that right now I'm on the ground and I'm crawling around, but I'm going to fly. I'm going to soar. I'm going to develop wings. Right? And so that is the way that we have to see it as well. Oh, my cousin's on here too. I saw Kathy. A lot of folks have popped up on here. So, like you have to know who you are. You have to be confident in where you're going, because that butterfly knows that there is always a possibility that it can be stepped on. But have you ever seen a caterpillar move? It's so strategic, right? And it's so calm, right? And it just goes about its way. Because why? It knows that it is destined to be a butterfly. So I want you guys to remember confidence over competition, right? And that's another t-shirt. So whoever's writing it down, make sure that you write it down. God gave me a lot of ideas this week. And so those t-shirts are coming. Change your language, change your life. next level is next level, and confidence over competition. So those t-shirts are coming. Why? Because we are using our language to not only change our lives, but to change other people's lives as well. We are purposeful, right? And we are productive, and we are who God says that we are. And so we are going to walk in that faith, and we are going to walk in that confidence that we are not in competition with anyone. We're just going to do the work of the Lord. We are going to be obedient, and everything's going to work out. We are winners. I've said it before, but if anyone had told me 2 years ago that I would be in this place, I would have said, you are absolutely crazy. But the song says, I will remain confident in him, and I will see the glory of the Lord. Right? Because all the trauma, all the things that has happened, I couldn't see it, right? But God has used it for his glory. He has used it to strengthen my relationship with him. He has used it to strengthen my relationship with family members. He has used it for me to use my voice to be able to come on him here and be transparent, to be open, to be honest, and to sow into people's lives. Right? There's so many other things I could be doing on a Friday night. There's so many other things that you could be doing on a Friday night. But you're confident in what God has given me and to give to you. And so then you're going to be confident enough to walk it out once it's imparted in you. And that's what we have to do. Can we listen to everybody's voice? Absolutely not. Do I listen to everybody's voice? Absolutely not. But I'm thankful that God has given me a voice. And I'm thankful that the people who are supposed to be under the sound of my voice are under the sound of my voice. And then I'm thankful for God and who he is in my life. And I'm thankful for my mom because she's always sown relationship with God into my life. I've always been able to see her walk it out. And then not only that, then he gives me leadership, right? My church leadership to be able to sow into me, right? So that I can walk it out. God gives us who we need. He gives us what we need when we open our hearts and we open our minds and we are obedient to his voice. See, because before the foundation of the earth, God already knew that my mom would be my mom, right? And he knew that she would have everything that I needed, right? And so he also knew that even though I would go out into the world and that I would do my own thing, but that the foundation that she had given me, it would give me the resources that I need to be able to walk it out in a time such as this. And then in 2017, when I found my church, right, where I went where God was calling me to go, he was also setting that foundation because he knew at this time, at that moment, that I would need this teaching, that I would need the foundation, that I would need the support, and that all these things would give me the confidence that I need to understand that I'm not in competition with anyone, that I have to remain confident in who he is and in who he has called me to be. And so you have to remain confident in who God is in your life. And if you don't have a relationship with him, this is not church, but it's just speaking with me. I implore you to ask God to come into your heart tonight, to come into your life. I promise you, he keeps his promises, and that all things will be well. And so I offer you the gift of salvation tonight. I offer you the gift of life, right? And I'm telling you, you won't worry about competition when you build that relationship with God. You will walk around confident as you're building a relationship with him because he is always going to remain faithful. I love you guys so much. I'm so thankful that you guys came on tonight for Fill Up Friday. If you come on every Friday night, then you are a Fill Up Friday faithful. And I am thankful and I am honored that you spend Friday nights with us. If this is your first time watching, again, welcome. Please don't let this be your last. And if you are catching the replay, Thank you so much. Listen, of course, we have some announcements. We always have announcements here on JSpirations Live because we're always building and we're always doing something because hey Gail, hey cousin, love you too. We are always building here, right? We don't want to be stagnant. We always want to make sure that we are giving something positive back onto social media, right? That people are able to see what God is doing in our lives. So on Sunday, July the 30th at 6 o'clock p.m., we have our second conversation in the series, Men Talk 2. We'll have author Vincent Bryant and Prentice Leonard, co-authors in the book Grief Through His Eyes. There's several authors, but we're going to be talking to those two authors on Sunday, the 29th at 6 o'clock p.m. Listen, ladies, it's for you too. We want to make sure that we are providing a positive platform for our men to come on and talk and to share their hearts. Hearing their voice is an important part of our community growth and our families and our relationships. And so please, your husband, your cousin, your brother, your friend, any male that's in your life, encourage them to watch our series, Men Talk 2. It's going to be an amazing conversation. We're also going to give away a book or two, but there's some amazing stories in that book, and we need to make sure that men have the opportunity to share their hearts. And then we have our 5-year celebration gala. JSpiration Live presents Beauty, Boldness, and Butterflies on Saturday, October the 21st at 6 o'clock p.m. here in Norfolk, Virginia. Doors are going to open at 5:45. It is a formal event. So, if you want to dress, you have to dress up. So you can go semi-formal and up to formal, but nothing under formal. We are so excited about this event. It is coming together nicely. Tickets went on sale last Friday, and you guys, they have been selling. So you do not want this event to sell out. We are going to have a sit-down dinner. There will be poetry, comedy, music, motivational speaking, pictures, networking, and just getting the opportunity to love on each other in a positive space. So we are so excited. I think our administrator is on here, Paula. Paula is our administrator, and along with Don and Kathy. Kathy may still be on here too. So Paula, Don, Mika, Kathy, Susan, and myself, that is our administrative team, and we are working hard to make sure that you guys have an amazing time. So if you have not gotten your tickets, make sure you get your tickets. You do not want this event to sell out. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, and then we also have our anniversary t-shirts that will be on sale as well. Those t-shirts are pre-order. You can also order those on Eventbrite, and they will be delivered the night of the event. So I love you guys. I hope that those events are on your calendar. There's a couple other things coming up later in the summer. We'll also have Men Talk 2 in September, and we are planning for August. So make sure that you guys are being attentive. You are coming on to support us. Make sure you're supporting the brothers in the Men Talk 2 series. So I love you guys. I want you to enjoy the rest of your night. Be sure to practice some self-care this weekend. Do something safe. Do something that is going to fill you up. And make sure you pour into other people as well, right? It's that overflow, right? Bishop Locklear, my sister's pastor, talked about this a few years ago. That overflow, right? When you have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, right? And as you're drinking it or as you're pouring it, it flows over a little bit just into that saucer, right? And you would see your grandmother or one of your old aunties, even after they finished drinking that cup, they would get what was in the saucer because it was still good and it was still sweet. And so that overflow, right? So as you're filling up, you be sure to fill up someone else as well. I love you guys. Have a great rest of the night, a great weekend. I will see you guys on Friday. And as always, be JSpired.